What's going on? Stream number 2 of the day. It's 4:33 Eastern time, late afternoon, Thursday, November 20th. Welcome inside the channel. I'm Bobby Trosset. As always, this is where I bring you Baltimore sports and beyond. If you could, on the way in, like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You want to leave a super chat, I'll put it up on the screen as soon as I can and address it. You want to call in, use the link that I have right now pinned in my live chat. Will and others already posted up in the waiting room, ready to go and share a thought on maybe a number of things that we're about to discuss. None more pressing than Lamar responding to being asked about some of the current and ongoing, perhaps, offensive line struggles. He has been sacked 23 times already, guys. And if they don't make changes or just don't start getting more consistent up and down that line, it's going to persist. And it's going to put Lamar, who just popped up with his third ailment so far this season on the injury report yesterday that forced him to miss Wednesday, then you just get the sense that that's going to continue to linger and put him in a tough spot. Now, positively speaking, just like last week, he returned to practice. We'll have our instant reaction coming up in the next couple minutes when inevitably the injury report drops. Hopefully it drops when I'm live, and we'll be able to kind of look at if he was upgraded to a full participant, much like he was last week. So that's what's going on right now. We'll get into those clips. We'll get into how much Lamar himself is to blame, perhaps, when it comes to divvying up accountability with the lack of pass protection, with the sacks taken, so on and so forth. Guest lines are open, like I mentioned. And without further ado, let's dive right in first and foremost, because this is the most important part of this entire operation, a health update from Lamar himself. He popped up yesterday with an ankle. Last week, he missed Wednesday's practice with a knee. And prior to that, we know the severity of the hamstring strain that forced him to miss multiple games. Here is Lamar within the last hour or so at one winning drive.
I'm good. I was able to practice, good.
Yeah. Do you feel like that has it affected your play at all? Because a lot of people will say when you have some injuries, you're not at full strength. Has that impacted your play at all?
I mean, if it just happened in the game, probably. But if you was injured, took some time off, and you was able to come back, I doubt it.
How are you handling the part that it's something different almost the last 3 weeks?
It's just part of football, I guess, but I'm good.
Have you had to, as you pointed out, I think in the past, as you've gotten older, have you had to sort of try to figure out how to manage your body through some of those injuries and things like that, whether it's, not practicing or whatever the case may be? Have you sort of had to figure that out, I guess, okay, I'm not 22, I'm not that old.
Yeah. I don't think I'm old at all right now. Not that old. I'm not old at all right now.
You played, I guess, have you had to try to figure out how to manage through when you get those, to your point, these things happen in football?
Yeah, but it's my first time, dealing with something like this, while I'm playing at that, so, we got great trainers and stuff like that. Our staff is good, so, like I said, I'm good. Yeah.
Do you think this kind of might be your new normal, just you might need a day or two off here and there, just because you are dealing with some things right now for this season?
Probably. We'll see how it go, though. Got to see how Coach feel about it.
Okay, playful Lamar. All those clips, by the way, was courtesy of Fox 45 Baltimore, their YouTube channel that I just edited and put together a couple different clips, and right on cue, as promised. How about the perfect timing with this? Thursday injury report just dropped seconds ago from the Ravens, and Lamar, just as he was a week ago, listed as a full participant after missing practice on Wednesday. So upgraded to full. This week it's an ankle. Last week it was a knee. Prior to the last couple weeks, it was a hamstring. That's the reality of what Lamar is dealing with right now. And you heard him, part of what he just had to say there in terms of his overall status. I'll get to the offensive line comments in just a second, but offensive coordinator Todd Monken was at the podium earlier this afternoon as well. And he said that Lamar's lower body injuries have not affected how the Ravens call their offense. Quote, I'm not making excuses. We have to be better in the red zone. Guys, they are the 28th ranked group overall league-wide inside the 20, less than 50% of the time that they are in the red zone, they are converting on touchdowns, 47.2% of the time. Again, that is bottom corridor, not where you want to be, 28th, bottom of the barrel when you compare them to other offenses league-wide. It's something that's obviously complicated. It's multifaceted when it comes to divvying up blame. And if Lamar's not playing at 100%, that will affect Todd Monken's game planning. There's no question about that. So, rest of the injury report before we get to the guest lines, before we get to his comments on the offensive line specifically that's garnering a ton of attention in the Twitter space right now. Rashad Bateman trending towards missing his second consecutive game with the high ankle sprain. He's been a DNP all week so far. Kyle Hamilton upgraded to limited with that shoulder/groin injury that he's dealing with. Justice Hill, who missed Sunday in Cleveland with a toe, full participant so far this week. Good news for him. Marlon Humphrey upgraded to a full participant, and he told reporters that he will play on Sunday, not long after that procedure that placed a pin in his finger. So I was listening to his podcast earlier this week. I think it was his left hand was all bandaged up. He's going to have to find comfort or find as much familiarity as he can as he manages the pain and discomfort that inevitably will come with that. But looks like Marlon's going to try and give it a go against the Jets. Isaiah Likely upgraded to limited with a calf after missing Wednesday's practice. Keon Martin trending towards maybe not being able to go with that rib designation. He's been a DNP and did not travel, at least initially, back with the team from Cleveland. They thought it was pretty serious. John Harbaugh referred to it as a chest at the time on Monday, and then luckily for him, it ended up being where it was. Regardless, it's serious. Rib, chest, whatever. It's rib, but it's not as serious as previously indicated. So if Marlon's coming back, it really won't matter. But Keon Martin maybe perhaps not available for Sunday against the Jets, barring something unforeseen over the next couple days. Roquan Smith upgraded to limited. That's good for him after DNPing on Wednesday with the hamstring. Ronnie Stanley, full participant after missing Wednesday, sick. And Andrew Voorhees upgraded to limited. He was a DNP on Wednesday with a foot. So, look, I think a lot of what you're seeing here is veterans that are banged up, nicked up at this time of the year, that are getting a day here and there, that have earned the trust, that understand the ins and outs and the nuance of what they're doing, whatever the side of the ball it is, and that are going to get themselves a day. It's not uncommon this time of year, and Lamar perhaps is one of those. Now, he was asked about the offensive line. That's probably why you showed up today. Here is his response to the current state of the offensive line and the 23 sacks that he's taken already through 10 games.
Yeah.
God damn. Yeah, he got me right there. I wasn't expecting that at all. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
He got fined?
Am I surprised he got fined? I don't know. Like, I really don't be paying attention to the rules, like, on defensive guys of what's legal, what's illegal, so I really can't call it. I'm glad we got the call, though. All that weight, he dropped all his weight on me. I'm like, damn. But, yeah, man.
Add to Jameson's question there, I mean, I think you got 23 sacks all of last year, and that's how many you have this year.
God damn. We got to talk to the offensive line about that, man. I'm going to holler at my guys about that, man. I ain't trying to,
realistically, I mean,
talk to my guys about that.
Do you feel the cumulative weight of some of the pressure you've been getting this year?
I mean, it's part of football, Sometimes guys will get you, sometimes they won't, Like I said, I'm talking to my guys about that. They probably ain't going to like that, though. Like, you guys telling me it's 23 sacks, they probably not going to like that.
I don't think anybody's going to like that in any way related to this organization and Lamar's well-being. Quote, I'm going to talk to my guys about that. I'm going to talk to my offensive line about that. 23 sacks. That's you heard the reporter. He set it up perfectly. That was the number total last year. They've already gotten to that number as a group. And I say as a group, let me be clear. It's a group collective effort. Is there more blame to go around when it comes to the offensive line and particularly in pass protection or lack thereof? Yes, but Lamar's not above that. Lamar has some to do. right? With holding onto the football too long, with perhaps a level of tentativeness, which, yes, there's always a correlation between bad pass protection, being injured, not being able to perhaps use your lower half or your legs as much as you've been able to in the past, which is one of his superpowers, the superpower, right? All of that. There's a correlation between all of that. I get it. And it's a cumulative effect over the course of a grueling season, especially when you've now had at least what we know of 3 different ailments that are plaguing you in different capacities. But anyway, yeah, I hope he's having those conversations and having a talk with this offensive line, because the numbers are very concerning. 3.2 on average is how many times he's being sacked so far this season. Now, it's not actually a 10-game sample size because he missed a couple games. So I actually misspoke on that. I'm just remembering on the vault earlier this afternoon. I'll chalk that up to the multitasking that I'm doing in solo hosting this week. But 3.2, and you see that that's the most so far over his 8-year span, over his 8-year career, as Jameson totaled up here. It was 3.1 in 2021, but that also was not a full season because he was injured. Kind of ironic. A season where he doesn't finish the season was a high over 3 sacks on average. Again, what you're looking at here is the average times he's been sacked per game so far this season, and that is at 3.2, including 5 this past weekend in Cleveland, 4 of which came from Myles Garrett, 5 total. And again, they're not all on the offensive line. Let me be clear on that. They're not all on the offensive line. But the offensive line has a big part of it. And the regression and the coaching is a big part of it. As you see here, it's the second day in a row I've pulled this up, but it's that staggering. I think it warrants repeat. Pass protection ratings. Here you have it, entering week 12. The Ravens are the 28th ranked group. The same ranking as their red zone offense. 28th ranked league-wide. These numbers, it's a composite of PFF grade, blown block percentage, and ESPN pass block win rate. And the way that's divvied up is 40% PFF grade, 40% blown block percentage, and 20% pass block run rate. Pass block win rate. Say that 20 times fast. It's not good. You watch, they're about to go on a tear. And we spent the first 5 weeks of the season tearing apart, deservedly so, the defense. And look what they've done since week 6, call it. You imagine? This offensive line magically starts performing. They have not been a heavily penalized group this year. Todd Monken spoke about that earlier this afternoon. He's correct. They have not been heavily penalized. But they have not effectively moved the ball. They have not effectively run on first down consistently. They have not effectively moved the chains on third short yardage situations, not just third down, but short yardage situations. And they've struggled to score touchdowns. Less than 50% of the time. I'll continue to harp on that number because with this personnel, that is unacceptable. It just is. Take a look at the pressure all season category in the upper right-hand quadrant here. Quadrant. This is put together by True Media. It's pressure rate allowed in weeks 1 through 5 versus weeks 6 through 11. In Cleveland and Baltimore, you probably can't even see the Ravens logo unless you really focus and concentrate. Just look for the orange helmet, the Cleveland Browns. Their 2 offensive lines have led to being in a category that is pressure all season. Not good. To the guest lines we go. I want to get your thoughts on the way that Lamar handled himself today at the podium. Your concerns about the offensive line. Where does Lamar in this conversation in terms of divvying up blame? I think it's a fair conversation to be had. Will, what say you, brother? Welcome back to the program. And you, my friend, are going to be on the lookout for some shipping information.
Let's go.
Merry Christmas comes early.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Which, well, one, I'm going to start off. I got really excited today because I posted it on my Instagram story, just kind of hype. It was D Hop's little trend and all, and I saw he viewed my story. I was kind of a little hyped about that, It's rare for that to happen. But
let's go.
Onto the main stuff here. I think it is very it's interesting because Lamar literally this year has been very livid at the fact that we started 1-5. He took away the games and all, and then now hearing that and how his ears perked up and he's like, God damn, we gotta figure that out. And so hearing that, you're just like, you can see it in his eyes. You can be like, okay, he's gonna rip them to shreds. Like, he was already livid, took out the games, and you can only imagine what he's going to say to the line. And the line's already knowing, like, just deep down, they want to work at it. They want to put the effort in. Like, hey, the penalties aren't there, but the blocking is, of course, not there. But like, now that their leader, their person they're protecting, is soon or has already, as we speak, come to them and said something about it. Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, we're playing the Jets, but you got to keep this for a long stretch. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't let up a sack this Sunday. But when we're coming down the stretch, I mean, they got to step up their game with that. So
I just want to make sure I make something clear here, because maybe I wasn't like abundantly obvious about it a couple minutes ago. Lamar's taken 23 sacks so far this season. And while I mentioned that he has not played in every single game, I hope that didn't come across as like, oh, that makes that number feel better. That should make that number feel horrifically worse.
Yeah.
He's played in just 7 games this year.
No, and imagine what it was like with Cooper Rush, since he has no mobile ability. Like, Lamar was able to like rush out of the pocket. I mean, say with Tyler Huntley, but just like imagine if you add those sacks as well. Like different quarterback, different like style, but still protecting the quarterback is the most important job for the offensive line, obviously. But
well, yeah, and speaking of Lamar's mobility, it's been an area that is under question, not only by the eye test, but also just based on the way that Todd Monken is calling games. And I have an interesting look here, courtesy of Ben Solak, at designed runs per game. Now, again, this is where the missed time and only playing 7 games to date more so is a factor in understanding that this number could be slightly skewed just because of the lack of games played, especially with the fact that you're looking at numbers here from full seasons, with the exception of, I guess, 2018, because he split the first half or Joe Flacco had the first half and he had the second half, and then he didn't play the second halves of 21 and 22 because of injuries. So just keep that in mind. But as Ben notes, 3.4 this season represents another steep drop-off like the one between 22 and 23. And then he also underscores here, like I just mentioned, that he missed the end of 2022 with a sprained MCL. Point is, Todd Monken, the way that he calls the game, is being impacted by Lamar's health. Nobody's going to say that. Todd immediately denied that today when asked point blank about it. Lamar says he feels fine. He's good. It's 3 different ailments over a 10-week stretch. 11-week stretch to start off the season, 10 games, 7 of which he's played in. And clearly, I think we all know that this is not the Lamar that we've grown accustomed to seeing in terms of the breakaway speed, the willingness to go showcase said breakaway speed, some of the tentativeness in the pocket, some of the hesitancy. And while the overwhelming majority of blame should be pointed at the front office, the lack of execution from a player standpoint, the coaching, Lamar is a part of this as well. And I know that's going to send out the mob, right? And here we go. Howard's one of them. He says, wow, even Bobby is falling to the narrative. Let Super Jack cover up all this poor offensive line pay. Who's Super Jack? Let Super Jack cover up all this poor offensive line play, which we could see coming and predicted before the start of the regular season.
I don't know if it's like some glue or something. I don't even know. But
Howard's a part of the mob, right? What his goal is as soon as, even if I'm saying here, he doesn't even know this, but in my mind, I'm like, Lamar could be 10% part of the blame, right? The overwhelming majority is on the other 3 areas that I just mentioned. But as soon as Lamar's name comes into play for Howard, it's like, holy hell, let's
Hey.
bring out the pitchforks for Bobby. Like, so come on, Howard. Call in, share a thought with me. Let's have a conversation about it. Why you jump to conclusions like that? It's sensationalism at its finest.
I mean, I understand. Like, Baltimore Ravens fans, we love Lamar. Heck, I can defend Lamar with all I still have people try to be like, so did Josh Allen deserve that MVP last year? Like, just and trying to like get me to debate. Like, I mean, I understand, but let's be realistic here. Lamar is not 100%. Like, I don't care if you guys come at me in the comments, just be like, you're not a real Ravens fan. You're not this. I'm being a really realistic football fan here. Lamar is not 100%, and he's showing that, and he is not playing up to par. I wouldn't be surprised this offseason if he said, whether if we go one and done in the playoffs, if we miss the playoffs, no matter what happens, if he comes back the following season, training camp, and he's just like, yeah, I'm feeling a lot better than I did last year. I had some this and that with injuries and all, but I feel a lot better and a lot healthier. I wouldn't be surprised by that. And I don't think anyone else should be surprised by that either. So again, offensive line, front office, 1000% deserves most of the blame. But when we're talking about Lamar is standing in the pocket a lot. He's not running a lot, obviously. Hamstring, knee, and then ankle. Like, he has a lot of stuff going on, but like you said, it's football. And like, I think as the season progresses, if the words that Lamar says to the offensive line actually resonates with them, like, he'll be able to ramp up and be ready for a possible January run. So, I mean, that's just my opinion on that.
Thanks for the call, brother. Great to see you, man.
Great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Later, Will. As always, guest lines are open. Judah and Mr. Ravens football letting it rip here in a second. Howard, I just dropped the guest line access into your live section for you. It's also a pinned comment in the live chat. Would love to share a thought with you and listen to your thoughts on the current state of this team as it relates to Lamar and the fact that he is not above the blame game. Here he is talking about the offensive line, just in case you guys missed it a few moments ago when we came on.
Yeah.
God damn. Yeah, he got me right there. I wasn't expecting that at all.
The Dallas Turner hit.
Yeah, I
is
wasn't
what he's
expecting
referring.
You got fined?
Am I surprised he got fined? I don't know. Like, I really don't be paying attention to the rules, like, on defensive guys of what's legal, what's illegal. So I really can't call it. I'm glad we got the call though. All that weight, he dropped all his weight on me. I'm like, damn. But yeah, man.
Add to Jameson's question there. I mean, I think you got 23 sacks all of last year, and that's how many you have this year. What you were
God
doing.
damn. Well, we got to talk to the offensive line about that, then. I'm gonna holler at my guys about that, man. I ain't trying to,
Realistically, I mean,
talk to my guys about that.
Do you feel the cumulative weight of some of the pressure you've been getting this year?
I mean, it's part of football, Sometimes guys will get you, sometimes they won't, Like I said, I'm talking to my guys about that. They probably ain't gonna like that, though. Like, you guys telling me it's 23 sacks, they probably not gonna like that.
No, they're not going to like that. And I can't imagine they've enjoyed seeing the commentary about their group every single week now for months. And you can probably even go back farther than that in the last season. So anyway, that's what we're talking about right now. Those comments from Lamar earlier this afternoon at his press conference. The good news for everybody is that much like it was the case last week, after missing Wednesday's practice, just as he did yesterday, he returned. And the injury report that was just dropped by the Ravens a few moments ago states that he was a full participant today. He's going to play on Sunday against the Jets. Ravens can get to above 500 football in terms of win-loss record for the first time this season and continue this favorable stretch. And really, I should say wrap up this favorable stretch, because it sure looks like Joe Burrow is attempting to play this weekend, which means 1 week from tonight, he will likely, unless something happens, between now and Thursday night in Baltimore, it looks like it'll be Joe Burrow against Lamar Jackson Thanksgiving night, 1 week from today at the bank. Back to the guest lines we go. Appreciate you guys for being with me. Call in, share a thought. The guest access line is available to anybody in the live chat. It's a pinned comment. Just click on it. Come on. Try and keep your comments brief so we can kind of cycle through as many different guests as we can today. And also, there's a link in there if you'd like to join the Discord group. It's a 24/7 hub for conversations surrounding Baltimore sports. And as always, it is free to join. chronological order in terms of when you popped into the waiting room. That brings us to Judah. What's going on, brother? Talk to me.
What's going on, Bobby?
Good to see you,
Listen, man. Yeah, so what I want to talk about is I know that the offense has been a topic of discussion. I just have a slightly different viewpoint on what's going on with the offense. A lot of people want to blame the O-line. I'm not saying that there's no deficiencies there. We all know the deficiencies, right? But if you look at the beginning of the season and some of Lamar's most impressive passing games this season, even with that bad O-line, we were able to move the ball, and Lamar looked good in some of those games, specifically when Tez Walker was on the field. So you know where I'm going with this. Now, I'm not the biggest Bateman fan, right? But with Bateman out, I did not expect for us to have a game with both Bateman out and we didn't get Tez in. I will tell you this. I'm not the biggest Bateman fan, but if you don't have Tez on the field, you need Bateman on the field. There's no way that we can have a competent offense if neither one of those receivers on the field. And the reason is because Tylan Wallace is not a sufficient fill-in for Bateman or Tez. Neither is LaJohntay Wester, which I saw him on the field more than Bateman, right? Now, we do have two great tight ends, but that's not enough to be the high-powered offense that we're expecting to be. So, again, I'm on record saying this. I'm not the biggest Bateman fan, but if you don't have Bateman, you need Tez. If you don't have Tez, you need Bateman.
I hear what you're saying. You're not the biggest Rashad Bateman fan, but I know you're not going to deny what he gave to them in the red zone last year. And that's something that they're missing. I think that's what you're alluding to right now. They're struggling in the red zone less than 50% of the time, 47.2 to be exact. They're scoring touchdowns inside the 20. That's not going to get it done. It will over this favorable stretch, but it's not going to over the next call it 6 weeks outside of this upcoming weekend, and it's not going to get it done in January. I know that for sure. So I hear what you're saying. Devontae's had a great game week 2 against Cleveland. To me, it's a target share thing. Like they want to get DeAndre involved, and right now DeAndre is getting what would be given to Tez. That's the way I view it.
Yeah,
right.
I got you. That's basically all I had to say, though. I do believe that that's the biggest problem. That's even bigger than O-line to me because, again, if Lamar has a target that can get open, a lot of times he can overcome the bad O-line play. But I think everything comes to a head when you don't have the receivers and you have a poor O-line, you know.
Thanks for the call, brother. You're the man. Appreciate you. Guest lines are open. Folks want to share a thought today. It's cooking. Over 600 concurrents. That number is growing. If you could on the way in, like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Yeah, thank you, Evan. I don't know if I could quite say that that's a bigger issue than the offensive line. I love Judah, and I love his commentary. If I'm ranking the concerns right now, it's the offensive line. And to be quite honest with you, what I might throw in front of that is Lamar Jackson's health. Because while you could argue that the offensive line and its deficiencies are the sole reason why Lamar is hurt and just had his third ailment pop up, which forced him to miss yesterday's practice, I think that's the way it goes. For me, it's Lamar's health. There's a direct correlation between that and the offensive line deficiencies. And then from there, the lesser items are snap count for, Devontae Walkers of the world, Todd Monken's play calling, red zone deficiencies, so on and so forth. So that's where I'm at there. You guys let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of Todd Monken's comments earlier today. He said he had a one-word response when asked if Lamar's health, meaning his lower body injuries, have affected how the Ravens call their offense. It was a simple answer. Nope. That's what he said. He also took accountability, as he always does. Quote, "I'm not making excuses. We have to be better in the red zone." And my God, is that the case? Isaiah Likely has not only been a non-factor in the red zone, he's just been a non-factor overall. Now, granted, I want to give the guy a little bit of grace. He missed the first month plus. How many games has he played so far? Isaiah's played in 7 games. He had 12 receptions for 118 receiving yards on 17 targets, no touchdowns. Okay? So Isaiah's really struggled getting himself back involved in this offense. Lamar was asked about it earlier this afternoon.
One more for Lamar, please.
You've built a tight relationship with Isaiah Likely over the last 4 years. Why do you feel like he hasn't had as many breakout games this year since he came back from the injury, and do you feel like it's still going to come his way at some point?
We got other tight ends, other guys eating, but he's been coming along, as the season been going on, and he was out like the first few weeks, but his time is coming, but like I said, we got other guys who's been stepping up and doing their thing. So, when your number's called, feel like he's gonna do what he's supposed to do.
So saying and doing all the right things, obviously, when it comes to that. If you look at the team stats, there's only so much you can learn from stat padding or stat evaluating. But the gap between receiving yards, meaning the top target and the second target, whew, boy, it's a pretty significant gap. Zay Flowers leads the team, unsurprisingly, with 703 receiving yards. Just one touchdown, by the way, for him, but 703 receiving yards. That's almost 500 more than the next closest player, and that's Mark Andrews at 276. Now, Mark's made up for that in red zone catches, and then obviously what he did as a runner Sunday in Cleveland. He's got five total touchdowns so far. That leads the team. DeAndre and Bateman have 2. Kohler has 2. And Devontae has 2 in the same game going back to week 2 in Cleveland, which we were just talking about with Judah. Back to the guest lines. Your thoughts on anything related to this? Isaiah Likely's slow start. The Ravens' red zone issues. Lamar's comments on his offensive line. The lack of pass protection. What say you, Mr. Ravens football? What's going on, brother?
What's up, my friend? I'm the good guy here. I'm not gonna talk anything bad. I'm sick of hearing the bad that the Ravens are doing. Their offensive line's garbage. It's been garbage for years. Let's talk about the good that they're doing. The defense.
Hey now. Was it garbage last year? Hold on, not to interrupt you, but was that thing garbage last year?
Lamar hides a lot of stuff. I'm gonna say that right now, and tape proves it. But Lamar hides a lot of stuff.
Continue your thought.
But yeah, their defense is holding teams right now down. They're not putting 20 points on us. So as long as our offense can put up more than 20 points, should be all right. Lamar Jackson does a lot of the dancing around, which is good. He might be getting a little sick of getting hit. I mean, I can see that. But I mean, we're making history, and we're talking about the bad. I really think we're making history, and we keep talking about the bad stuff. I think we should start talking about more of what they're doing now to better themselves, I guess. I don't know.
Tell me the history that you think they're flirting with, in all seriousness.
The history? When do you see a 1-5 team win the Super Bowl?
You think Lamar's healthy enough to take him the distance?
Healthy enough? I think he's very well healthy enough to do this. Yeah, we know the line's not that great, but it's a week to week, game to game season, and sometimes these players out of nowhere flip the switch and they have a great game, and it's like, where'd this come from? That's all we need, is them to think like game to game. Hey, listen, the Super Bowl isn't won in week 1. It's not won in week 12. The Super Bowl is in February. And if we keep that mindset, like I said, I don't think no one's beating us. I really don't.
Okay.
And we might have some nasty games, some nasty scoring games where, like with the Cleveland game, where we're gonna have to try to pull it out. But I'm enjoying the ride. I'm not trying to think of the bad stuff. I'm trying to think of the history that could be made here.
I love
That's
it.
what I'm thinking.
I absolutely love it. The way I view this is that history obviously is within reach. They're trying to become the 4th or 5th team since the merger to start 1-5 and make the postseason. So you're absolutely right. There is history to be achieved and reached. The way I've been viewing this for a month now is Sunday. What commenced a month ago ends on Sunday. And what do I mean by that? I mean a favorable stretch with winnable, quote unquote, winnable games that doesn't discount or downplay, right, or demean the teams that they've beaten, because Miami went out and beat Buffalo. You've had Minnesota win some impressive games this year, or at least maybe not impressive games. Cleveland beat Green Bay, right? So it speaks to the parity, which is what you're getting at. But I think we all know that since the bye week, the schedule, which began as a murderer's row, softened for them. And it will continue to soften through Sunday.
So do you think we can beat New England?
So here's where I'm going with this.
All right.
What started a month ago ends on Sunday. And that is this cushion. And so I'm going to start to, your positivity is going to start to become contagious for me personally from an objective coverage standpoint.
I hope so.
If they start ripping off wins in the early part of December.
I think we're gonna.
You play Cincinnati twice within a 3-week stretch.
Tough.
One of which is on a short week. Granted, it's the Jets on Sunday. You're expecting to win that game, and you're going to be favored by double digits to do so.
I think it's 14 points.
But it's still a short week.
Yep.
And the Jets still have something to play for, even though it's probably not going to be the postseason. They're not mathematically eliminated yet, but we all know. After that, the backloaded AFC North schedule doesn't get any easier. We know that Pittsburgh's defense, while hot and cold and wishy-washy at times, is going to give the Ravens their best shot. You mentioned New England, their current winners of 8 in a row. Drake May's playing like an MVP candidate, and they're way ahead of schedule with absolutely nothing to lose. The Ravens have beaten teams like that in the past throughout the John Harbaugh era, by the way. The ones that are flying high.
We do very well as the underdog.
Right, and that game's at the bank. We
won the Super Bowl as an underdog.
Femi mentioned it on the vault yesterday. He remembers when Tom Brady and the New England Patriots came in undefeated during Lamar's first full regular season as a starter in 2019 on Sunday Night Football, and they smacked him. The Ravens did.
Hey, Miracle, not even just that, but hey, Miracle and Mile High.
We've seen it before.
That's why I can't. This team cannot. I can't count them out. I said this. I've seen some crazy stuff. It's the NFL, and I love it. I'm just trying to be the. I don't want to speak negative, because if we do make history, I want that to be a positive. If they end up tanking out or doing bad, hey, it is what it is. But I'm here for the run. I've been a fan since '96. I love everything I'm seeing, from the bad to the good to the worst to the everything else. So
I love it. I'm going to be a lot more. I think the end of this, it's a great conversation. I'm glad you brought it up. I'm going to be a lot more receptive to what you're getting at.
Yep.
In the next, if this stretch continues past the Jets.
I get you.
And if that's the case, not only am I going to end up eating words for calling them cooked a month plus ago, but I'm also going
to. Sarah will let you know.
Oh, that's a given.
Yeah, I watch you guys every day. So.
You're the man, dude. Appreciate the call.
Take it easy, my friend. Take it easy, Bobby.
Later, man. Man, we are flirting with the 60-second clock having to come back in here, aren't we? Femi is in the chat, by the way, and the waiting room is cooking. Everybody's here. Let's get it. Mac 4 is here. Ominous Raven. Mr. Mexico is here. Howard's a new face. Debra's in the town. Julian. Justin's driving. Everybody's here. Let's bring on Ominous Raven. It's chronological order in terms of how you came in. Appreciate you guys for being with me. Steve Loop, father of Tyler, is in the live chat. Steve, great to have you. Tyler continues to pass the test, man. Mr. Rookie, picking up right where the GOAT left off a year ago. Ominous Raven, welcome to the channel, brother.
What's going on, Bobby?
What's going on?
Hey, well, when you posted the link in the Discord, you wanted me to call. So what's up?
Oh, beautiful. I didn't see. Okay, you have a different name in the Discord. What's going on, man?
Yeah. Hey, what did you want to discuss? We can talk Ravens. We can talk about, the Discord thing. Whatever. It's up to you. It's your show. Yeah.
Let's talk Ravens and where you think they're at right now. You and I will handle the stuff that you see in the live chat through Discord, because I don't think anybody wants to watch that right now.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I don't blame you.
It's not downplaying the significance of what
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
The Ravens
you don't even have to say no more. Okay. Yep. Well, as far as the team goes, I feel pretty good about the team. I feel a lot better about the defense than earlier this year. Earlier this year, I was pretty much, look, let's just wrap it up, call it a season, maybe get a good draft pick, help Lamar out with the O-line, and start again. The defense really came on. Granted, it was against, let's be honest, lesser talent, as far as like the quarterback play goes. However, they still have to perform, and they've actually performed much better than I thought they would. So I'm very happy about that. As far as the offense goes, I'm not going to say anything new that anyone else hasn't already said. Daniel Falele, Voorhees, they're a problem. They're a major problem. And I do not understand how Harbaugh, EDC, let that go. There's no excuse for that when you have a generational talent at QB, and he's literally one hit away from career-ending injury. season-ending injury or career-altering injury.
Yeah, which is why there's layers to this. There's layers of blame, which is what you're alluding to. And ultimately, this is a group that in recent weeks just has not done their job to the standard of what the Ravens have set. And that starts with, to your point, the front office months ago in the offseason. It starts with coaching. You got to look at George Warhop. You got to look at regression. You got to look at the void that Patrick McCary left behind. Yes, he was the most penalized offensive player last year, but he was somebody that was durable. He was somebody that was serviceable and somebody that obviously was versatile up and down the line. So, and then, like I said, too, even though percentage-wise it's small, Lamar deserves blame as well. And at the same time, it's a cumulative effect of what he's had to deal with, wear and tear-wise, physically, with a lack of pass protection. And yes, Evan, right now, there are so many people in the waiting room that the link is no longer working. There's that many people in the waiting room that we are maxed out. Ominous. What's your first name?
Actual first name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ramsey.
R-A-M-S-E-Y.
Yeah.
I appreciate you calling. Just to address real quick here before we jump. One, when you're multitasking, you don't always see everything in the live chat. Clearly, Sarah and I have drawn a line in recent weeks with some rules. We keep it respectful. To a certain degree, we allow trolling. Once it crosses that line, we obviously have to address it. And anything else, you can hit me up directly always on social media to voice your concerns. You did in the Discord. We talked it out a little bit. Hopefully you're content. And if not, we can keep the conversation going, our dialogue.
All right. So I want to say this, and then I want to one more point with the Ravens. So with that, right, what you had just said was all that was needed. When something like that happens in the live chat and it goes completely unaddressed, and it happens multiple times, it looks like it's a problem. If we don't hear from you, this would be like EDC not saying anything at all about the O-line. If he just doesn't say anything, then you're okay with it. It's your job to see these things. Since you don't have a moderation team, you gotta say something. That's my personal opinion, and especially something as egregious as what this situation was.
I want you to know the lack of acknowledgement doesn't mean an endorsement. At times, it's particularly on a day where I'm solo hosting. Today, Sarah and I were emailed at our Vault Gmail account with screenshots of something that was absolutely below the belt, that should have been taken care of, that obviously wasn't because of multitasking a show. I'm wearing 15 different hats, and you take Sarah out of the equation and it becomes that much harder to navigate. So I get it. I appreciate the feedback, and we're doing our best.
Hey, Ahmad, somebody that you trust in the chat or in the Discord to be that eyes and ears for you would definitely help out, especially when you have 1,200 people in the chat.
The evolution continues, man. The evolution continues of the show. Thank you for the feedback.
Yep. And just to the Ravens real quick, I really want to go back and put some more blame on EDC, because with Falele and Voorhees, they are subpar. They are below average. They're probably not even third string quality guards in this league. And it's completely unacceptable at the trade deadline that they didn't get a backup. I legitimately think if you would have got a backup from any other team, Lamar would be in a better spot. What was Falele's pass grade for last game was like 29%. It's unacceptable on a team that wants to win the Super Bowl. A team with Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP as your quarterback, and you don't get somebody. I mean, that should be completely on him and the Harbaugh. There's no way around that. And I think more Ravens creators should be, sounding that alarm.
Thanks for the call, Ramsey. Appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Thanks.
The last couple of days we've talked about Emory Jones, kind of piggybacking off of what Ramsey was just mentioning there. And as you start to read the tea leaves, it certainly suggests that a change could be imminent. I don't know if it's going to be a change to start off the Jets game, but John Harbaugh spoke pretty darn glowingly of Emory Jones. And if you guys missed this, I got it right here for you. I didn't plan on talking about this, but just in case you missed it.
Progress. Very quick progress. It's only been about 3 to 4 weeks. One of the weeks was it was a Thursday night week. I think his first week was the Miami game, right? So I would say he's made excellent progress, and he's getting pretty close to being ready to play.
Okay. Tyler Linderbaum with a blunt assessment of his offensive line. This was shared by Bo Smolka, who caught up with him in a media scrum yesterday in the locker room. And Tyler told him the red zone issues come down to not being able to run the ball well enough. Quote, that starts with us, the O-line. Says he has no doubt they have the guys in the room to do it, but it has to be better. Back to the guest lines. If you just tried to call in a minute ago and were denied, it's because we had more than 10 people trying to do so. Place is cooking tonight. Femi's in the live chat mixing it up. We got over 700 of you concurrently joining me. Who wants to share a thought, huh? Howard, get your ass in here. Let's go.
Hey, Bobby, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you letting me come on your show. I listen to you every day, you and Sarah. It's all good. But I wanted to tell you, I'm not coming at you. I just was giving you from my point of view. A lot of us have been speaking about this team at the beginning of the season, and we all came to the conclusion that the offensive line was going to be the weakness of this squad. I knew eventually the defense would come around, and also I think that as fans, we probably then just came so accustomed to Lamar Jackson, Super L Jack, as I called him earlier, of doing so much that when he's just doing average, he's still better than most of the other quarterbacks in the league, with what y'all considering his play now, not him not escaping from the pocket and all that. He's still better than 90% of the QBs in the league, even playing if he's playing at 80%. So I think that the offensive line is completely to blame. And I think that John Harbaugh I think for Lele, that's got to be their personal project, because he should have been out of there. And the film says so.
In your second life, I think you're going to be Denzel with that voice. That voice is silky smooth, my man. And this is one of my favorite calls of all time, much like the David Cures, much like the other guys who, and I'm not saying you're talking shit, right? But because I think live chat comments, written dialogue can always be confused to be antagonistic or demeaning or overly negative, when it's impossible to read through it and truly know the tone, truly know the purpose, right? You come on here and this is the best conversation. Like, that's why I love people that call in, Howard. I appreciate you.
All right, I appreciate you telling me to call you, man. I kind of figured. I said, no, I'm not hating on you, Bobby. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted you to see a different point of view of it. I know what you're saying, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, I do. And I appreciate the chain. You're all tricked out. The guy's iced out coming on the show. I appreciate you.
Hey, let me show you one more thing. This is from when we won the first Super Bowl.
Yeah, look at that. It's like the Ravens version of a Hess truck.
Yeah. See, I go back to the Baltimore Colt days, you know what I'm saying, to that Super Bowl. So I'm an old fan, I'm an old head, but I just think that if we get past this game with the Jets and they get this offensive line situation straightened out, we're going to be in for a magical season. If we go to the playoffs and we get dumped in the playoffs, it's going to be a big disappointment. But in my deepest of hearts, I think if they let this Ravens team in the playoffs, we bringing home the ship this year, baby.
Respect, OG. Appreciate the call, man.
All right, have a good one, man.
Later, Howard. Throw that down. Somebody bookmark that call right there, because that's up there. That is up there. Over 800 of you concurrently watching at the moment. Like the video if you could. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Consider becoming a channel member. Gift-giving membership today. Guest access line, if you'd like to share a thought with me, is pinned right now in the live chat. Waiting room is still cooking, and DeBruz looks like he's ready to line up for Fa'alele himself. I know he wants 77's number. Come on now. Right, let's see. Let's call you RG2. Not RG3, RG2. Right guard 2. Welcome back, brother.
Hey, Bobby, look, check us out. You're past Howard. That's my frat brother, right? Don't know him from nowhere, but that hat says everything, man. So he the bros too. Howard, if you're seeing this, man, good stuff. Listen, Bobby, I'll make this brief. Take it back to 2012. I think there's just a little bit of ego and people saying no. Brian McKinney was the change that the Ravens made. They switched Clutchy Osemele to left guard. They moved McKinney to left tackle. They moved Order right. So all those things happened, and it fixed the offensive line, which propelled us to the Super Bowl. How that happened was they had veterans in the room that went to Harbaugh and told them that this needed to happen. I think the difference between that team and this team, we don't have those alphas in the room that's going to Harbaugh, that's going to demand that these changes happen, right? And I can only go by a creature of habit. Lamar's getting hurt because we had penetration up the middle. You can have one bad guard. You can't have two bad. It's just not that way, because then it makes your center look awful, right? So it's until we make at least one change, that's when you'll begin to see the ascension of the offensive line. Without that, we can't do zone read, and that you'll see that this week against the Jets. They struggle against zone read. If we don't run it against them, they're one of the worst zone read teams in the league. That's going to give you an idea of our inability to do it moving forward, going into the playoffs and so forth. So my thing is,
already have an idea though for the limited play calls in that regard. What's the other idea? The idea is what we now know, and that is Lamar is nowhere near 100%, and that's a part of it. I mean, look at the numbers right here in terms of designed runs. I know it's only, what did Femi say? It's 7.5 games because he's missed a couple for the hamstring. So this number, we'll have to wait and see what this number consists of after the season. But 3.4 designed runs per game. I mean, it's obvious. The lack of zone reads, the lack of design runs per game, Lamar getting caught from behind on plays that he would never previously. He is banged up. So that's a part of the equation as well.
Listen, I categorically agree with you on that. I'm saying that you can have one bad guard, you can't have both. We moved Clutchy Osemele from right tackle, put him to left guard, and put Orr at right, and it solved everything, right? I think that if we just make one change, either Falele or Voorhees, one of them have to sit down. I'm not saying both, but one of them have to sit down and just give the young pups a try, man. That's why I am. And I got a $500 donation for you. Can you email me so I can send it to you? Or I'm not sure how to do all that.
$500 donation to me?
Yeah, for the channel, bro. For the channel. The channel. For the channel, bro. What you doing?
Are you serious?
My hand of God, you need somebody to pour into you, bro. Email me.
Damn. All right. What am I emailing?
CHAR. Ain't none of y'all nobody else better not email me because I ain't got it.
Wait, how about this? How about this? You know what? Let's not do that just in case people get after you. Go to the private chat. You see the private chat on your screen? And seriously, that is like so above and beyond, dude. Appreciate that. You see the private chat? Here?
Let me see if this.
Yeah, there you go. I got you. Dude, that means a lot. I appreciate that. Oh, he just bounced. All right. Thank you, DeBruz. Man, you guys are unbelievable. Oh, he just came back in.
Yeah, man.
You exited yourself out. I got your email. I want to say thanks one more time, and you and I we'll get together.
Bro, you got to pour into people, man. This is my attempt. I appreciate you.
That's very gratifying. Thank you.
All right.
Later, brother. All right, guys, guest lines are open. A lot of thoughts, a lot of commentary today on all things offensive line, on all things Lamar Jackson's comments. And if DeBruz gets what he wants and what Femi wants based on what I'm seeing in the live chat and what we discussed yesterday, perhaps Emory Jones is going to get an opportunity coming up on Sunday to make not only his first career rep in the NFL, but perhaps his first career start. I'll believe it when I see it. Mac Ford, Covington's finest. Good to see you out of the hospital, mama guy. What's going on, brother?
How you doing?
Good to see you, man. How you feeling?
I'm getting better.
Good.
That's the same thing I want to do for you. So he ain't saying nothing much.
Man, you guys are all unbelievable. You know that? What is this, Christmas time around here?
Look, you doing what you do, and that's why I try to tune in. I'm gonna keep it short. Yeah. Harbaugh needs to get rid of his doghouse because that's what the problem is. Plain and simple. Lamar's hurt. I be screaming about him. I say, run, run, run. But I say, damn, he probably can't run. Them two linemen need to go. Ain't no one, not one, but both of them. Because that's this is, I think the center has to be signed, right?
They declined his 5th-year option, so they're gonna have to get something done with him at some point. Yeah.
And I ain't watching that box, but Lamar, what, 72 million next year?
That's not, yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
So I just wanted to see what's up. I wanted to holler at you. And we're talking. Last thing. I'm trying to get up there for the New England's game.
Oh, okay.
So
all right. Let's see. New England is. Am I going to be at that game? Let me see here. New England is the 21st of December. That's week 6. That's week 16, December 21st. I'm going to be at home with the fam for that one, unfortunately, for Christmas.
I try to get up there to see you.
Well, you let me know if you pull trigger, and we'll try and set something up for you in town.
Okay. Sending love from Covington.
Thanks, Mac 4. Appreciate you. As always, guest lines are cooking. You guys are awesome. And Femi's spot on. Gracious Voltrons. And in this case, Bobby Baltimoreans. We're outside the vault at the moment. Justin's been holding for a while. Do me the favor. I'm going to get yelled at if I don't say it. Make sure your ass drives safe during this segment. Justin Holt. Welcome back to the program, my friend.
What's up, Bobby? You hear me all right?
Good to see you. Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, I'm driving through the mountains, so if it gets wonky, man, you just kick me right out of here. But
you know I will too.
look, my 3 sons are going down to Baltimore to go see the game on Sunday, and I was wondering, with Lamar being like, I don't know how he ain't 100%, and it is the Jets, and we got the quick turnaround with the Bengals. I mean, you think we sit him? You don't think Snoop could handle it? Like for one game, just let him get that extra rest for the division game? Or am I talking crazy?
Not if he's a full participant on Thursday. I don't think they're going to screw around with that. I think that's more of a conversation to be said about guys that are like actually banged up. I'm not discounting how far from 100% Lamar appears to be. But I would think that would be more along the lines of like a Keon Martin, right? A Marlon, who says he's playing, but Marlon just had his finger pinned. Like, you got to be careful with him. You want to be careful with snap counts. Like, I don't know, the guys, who else comes to mind? I mean, Justice missed last week with a toe. You'll probably want to be mindful of that. Roquan had a hamstring pop up. Kyle Hamilton's going to have to literally like pry himself away from the field to take him off. He's not going to want a limitation on snaps. But yeah, no, I don't think they're going to go as far as to do that.
No, that was just an idea. I was thinking, because I know the show's about the offensive line. I'm driving home from work, so I didn't get to see any of the pressers. I didn't get to hear Lamar or anything like that. But like the Ravens Wired, I just watched. That was the big thing with Mark Andrews taking that 4th down to the house. But that makes you forget that the play before it was a 3rd and an inch, and Henry got stuffed. Like, that's how bad our offensive line is. Like, the trick play makes you almost forget we couldn't get an inch with the King.
They're trying to do whatever they can on 3rd and short yardage situations. We've seen it over the last few weeks. The 3 that come to mind for me, Mark Andrews, obviously the game winner. Mark Andrews the week prior in Minnesota with the direct snap and a handoff, or a pitch, I should say, to Lamar, and then a Pat Ricard carry, his first in years. Those 3 right there, I think, one, obviously were really well executed, and Todd has stones to call them, but it's also an indication of what you're getting at. And this offensive line, it's really an indictment on the offensive line is what it is. So thanks for the call, brother.
Bobby. Yep, take it easy, brother.
Safe travels out there, man. Appreciate you. Joel, you ready to go? Manny, Rave, C just popped in. What's going on, Joel? Good to see you, brother.
What's up, Bobby? I just got up from my little nap. Had a long night last night. Was pretty crazy at my job. But anyway, man, I don't want to talk about my boring job anyway.
Okay.
So 3 concerns that I do have. I think we've all had this discussion, and this is the big topic about this offensive line. I mean, yeah, that's the big story. And 77 is the head honcho of that group. I think we all know this and realize this now. I've been saying it for weeks about him, and I'm pretty sure everybody has. But I don't know if John's going to make the move and switch him. I mean, I would be surprised if he do. But the way he's talking is just like, yeah, maybe, maybe not. I really, really don't know about that. Now, I
Yeah,
would like to see Emory Jones in there because
yeah.
I mean,
It's look, and I thought Ken McCusick did a great job earlier this week sharing a Twitter commentary that basically was like, look, in the past when changes on the fly in season have been made, no one's known about them outside
right,
the building.
right.
And in this case, it would be no different. The
Hmm.
praise, the issues at right guard, really both right and left guard. The fact that Emery now is weeks removed from being medically cleared, in his words, as he told reporters earlier this month, or maybe it was even at the end of October. And then you
Hmm.
add on the fact that Todd's speaking glowingly when asked about him. John speaking glowingly to the tune of this quote right here, quote, he's made very good progress, very quick progress. It's only been about 3 to 4 weeks. I would say he's made excellent progress, and he's getting
Hmm.
pretty close to being ready to play. That was yesterday. I know you guys probably have already heard that, but just to underscore the point that maybe, just maybe, if regardless of whether or not there's a cushion or a double-digit difference, or a Jets deficit that's double digits, maybe you want to get a look at him.
Yeah, I agree. I think you definitely just need to throw him out there and see what he can do, and just let him learn on the fly. Because you're not going to know what you have with him until you let him learn and let him play. That's the big key about that. Second concern is we've talked about this a few months back. I think it was on the vault. You and Sarah discussed this about Lamar holding the ball too long, and I know if you noticed that. He's been holding the ball a lot more recently. Now, we don't know what he's seeing from his point of view, but I think you did show a video. I think it was in the Browns game, and I think it was the Bills game. I'm not sure. It was a couple of games that we saw that he's been holding the ball a lot, and we're not seeing what he's seeing and why he's not either taking off or why he's not throwing it away. But that's a little bit of a concern as well. Maybe it's
Yeah,
the
and
route
that's all I was trying to
concept.
say. Like, it's a small percentage of blame aimed at Lamar. By the way, nice hat. I should have recognized that earlier. But
Oh
that's all I'm
yes.
saying. Like, it's been it's 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 some of the delayed time, right? The timing and rhythm is a bit off, and some of the sacks taken have been a
Yeah.
little off. Now, look, sometimes there's, as he mentioned or alluded to in his press conference sometimes today, sometimes you take a sack for the integrity of the play. Keep salvaging and
Mm-hmm.
not allowing for a high percentage turnover to potentially happen. And I respect that, right? I,
Mm-hmm.
I totally get that. There's other times, and again, I think what Femi's point is in the live chat right now is some of that. There is a direct trickle down effect with the lack of pass pro, with the hard hits that he's sustained and taken that have forced him to exit games like he did in Kansas City and then miss multiple games,
Mm-hmm.
deal with at least 3 known ailments that we're aware of in the
Yeah.
public. Like, there's a cumulative effect, and I get that. And the wear and tear is real right now. That's why he's
Mm-hmm.
missed the last 2 Wednesday practices. He's
Yeah.
earned the right as a vet to miss those practices. But again, it's a part of the conversation. And when you go and watch the tape and you watch some of these dropbacks and you watch what's happening in very congested, tight pockets, the footwork is tight. He's got his offensive lineman right on top of him. He's taken Ed Oliver brutal hits. Dallas Turner, who was flagged for unnecessary roughness and then fined afterwards in Minnesota. Like, all of this is a part of the equation.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll go back also to after the game, the Browns game week 2. He took a lot of hits in that game as well. He got
Sure.
slammed to the turf, and one of those plays, I forgot. I think maybe it was Rosengarten that missed it, or Voorhees missed a block, and they just came right up the middle, just slammed him down to the turf. I was worried about him. I was like,
Yeah.
dang, like he could have got a concussion after that.
Sure.
But I hopefully that something they'll fix that issue and that they said all the right things. Another issue that it's not really much of an issue, but I would like to see more of is I want to see more of the defensive line trying to like at least to get a little bit more accumulative sacks, not just relying on Kyle Hamilton a lot. I mean, yeah, that's great to see, but we need to get a little bit more like pressure up the middle and trying to get to these quarterbacks. We're not getting a lot of sacks, and we're probably like dead to last in the bottom league in sacks or something like that on defense. So I really would like to see more of that change. But the defense, I don't have too much issue with going forward. I mean, they really have improved since the beginning of the season up until now. But I think that I would like to see more and turnovers as well. More turnovers. They've been generating that. And I will end it with this. We will get the win against the Jets. Now, I've seen that Joe Burrow has been practicing, and kind of find it funny that he wants to target our game as the game that he wants to come back
I
to.
think he's coming back before then. I think
Yeah,
he's coming back this weekend.
I believe so too. If he's
Yeah.
practicing fully like this, I think he's pushing it in my mind with his offensive line as well. And then the fact that that defense is not good, and we all know that cream puff defense is not good. But I just find it funny that he really wants to play against us. And I think he wants to ruin our season, but I don't think we should let that. We're not going to let that happen.
If the Ravens speak English.
Margin of error.
If the Ravens have a razor thin margin of error, then
There you go.
Cincinnati's is like grains. It's like a grainy razor thin margin for error. Appreciate you, Jewel. Thanks for the call, man. And love that hat. thevaultpod.com/shop. If you guys want to go throw something under the tree a month from now. See, you ready to go? See, I see you nodding and shit. My man's ready. What's going on, brother? Welcome to the program. Oh, no, and you're muted. Oh, no. This is – don't fumble on me now. Don't Derrick Henry week 1 me. Come on now. Don't King Henry Cleveland week 2 me. Son of a – what's going on, Mr. Mexico?
What's up? Well,
talk to me.
This is what Lamar's going to tell the right guard and the left guard.
Oh,
Either you.
You're Lane Kiffin that shit right there. Look at him.
I mean, you either protect me or you protect me.
Oh, God. Look at you. Okay. What's your early prediction? Is it going to be belt to ass? Because NFL Network across the board has the Ravens universally beating a Jets team that already, I love Jake Asner. We're going to have him on the vault tomorrow. This guy's literally doing content around mock drafts. It's November 20th.
Business is business, as they say. If you get ahead of it, you know how it is on the stock market. If you get ahead of it, you get the early profits.
There you go.
But I think it's not going to be belt to ass. I think because it's more so like, okay, Lamar's going to speak to them, but he's going to speak to them lightly, or he's going to go, like he tried to do with Marlo and the live, like, hey, turn that shit. Like, no, you got to go in front and tell him right as it is to Falala and to Voorhees. It's like, either you protect me or I literally, he has power. That's
oh yeah.
That's the thing.
Oh yeah. The stature is, he's 6'8", 350 plus pounds.
Yeah. And oh my, if Emery is ready, if they're gonna start him, or not start him, but at least play the Jets, it's perfect because at least you can prepare schematically. Okay, Emery is serviceable enough. I can substitute either Voorhees or Falala, and for those short yardages, because like everybody has been saying, how many times have we been stopped? 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 on a power play, or at the goal line. Third, that touchdown of Derrick Henry against Cleveland. That one that Say pushed him into.
You can thank Ricard on that one. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I'm talking about the 59-yard. The 59-yarder. You can thank Ricard.
I'm talking about the Derrick Henry touchdown. Say Flowers pushing Derrick.
Yeah.
It's like that's a fault on the right side on Falala and in Rosengard. And if Say is not there, literally it doesn't work. We don't score. We get stuff, and then Cleveland gets up in their minds, and it's going to be a fourth call. And you don't know if they're going to do the Mark Andrews spin or toss it to Lamar. You don't know what they're going to do. So thank God Say was there to actually help end this drive?
Take a look at this. I meant to bring this up earlier, and I feel like I need to bring it up bigger. So give me 1 second here. Let's do this. This is what I want here. Big screen. Okay. So this right here is a PFF scale on evaluating offensive tackles when left on an island. And if you find the Ravens logos, obviously you're looking for Ronnie Stanley and you're looking for Roger Rosengarten. And they actually find themselves above the middle of the pack. So again, this is what we're looking at is just island work, right? It's you and your defender. It's you and your defensive end or your edge rusher. What are you going to do about it? It's pass block win rate when left on an island. And then obviously what you're seeing on the left-hand side of this graphic is the quality of pass protection. So Roger and Ronnie are actually above average in these moments, which I'm not saying either one of these guys have been elite this year. They haven't. I think Roger's regressed and Ronnie's had some really tough assignments this year. Houston's defensive front is a problem. Did Ronnie play in that game against the Texans? I can't even remember.
Yes.
I know he played both Cleveland games.
He played briefly.
Okay. I know he's played both Browns games. There's been some really challenging defensive fronts. The point is this further emphasizes what we know is the issue, and that's guard play, and that's both guards. And Jeff Zaribek said something that I don't think enough people have talked about since Tuesday night's collective. And what was it he said? He's spoken to folks outside the building, meaning defensive strategists going up against the Ravens offensive line who actually feel like the weaker link is Voorhees. Imagine that.
Yeah, because Voorhees, for as much as he has the talent, he still doesn't trust that knee.
Maybe not. Thanks for the call, brother.
And it's gonna. You know what? The blame on Lamar of not running or not throwing it away comes from that, because he's hurt, because he has gotten hit, because those guards are not protecting him. That causes him a hit, causes him an injury. He doesn't trust his body. He doesn't want those what happened in Cleveland, those deflective passes that turn into interceptions. So that's like you said, it's a trickle-down effect, and it's affecting Lamar. And Lamar, it's going to have a breaking point in which he tells Harbaugh, I need to see, hey, I had enough with this. Either you change it or I'm out.
Thanks for the call, brother. Appreciate you. Mr. Mexico taking the belt out. Oh, I should have asked him once more. Hold on. I had one more question for you. Have you ever used that belt in after-hours capacities? Later, Manny. Back to C. Welcome back to the program, brother. You got your audio now? Oh, my. Bro, what's going on with you? Come on now. I know Ray's going to have his audio working. What's up, Ray?
What
the hell are you doing over there?
Hello. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me?
What's going on?
So, John Harbaugh, so just like y'all said, John Harbaugh talked very high of Emory Jones, but you played the video that shows of him talking high of possible intimate, changes, saying everything's on the table for the offensive line. But he was asked about the offensive line, that tune changed real fast, didn't it? So it's the same thing.
You talking about yesterday's offensive line comments?
Yes.
Here they are. 1 second.
I think you do. You understand the challenge of the play. I mean, every play is graded. Every play is evaluated. And just even more than that, it's just a conversation that we have because, it's a collaboration between coaches, players, coaches, and you're trying to do the best you can. And we had a lot of really good plays executed out there. Myles Garrett got blocked a good number of times. But, you look at each play for what it is and you try to apply what you learn going forward to the next game and keep rolling. That's what you do.
So, look, that's what he's obviously going to say in a public setting like that, Rave. Mina really hit the nail on the head earlier. And just in case you guys missed it on the vault, this was part of what Mina had to say in this week's podcast on her channel.
And the thing I wrote, there's a lot of things you can point to, but I think if I had to isolate, they're still not run the ball the way they did last year. That's a big thing. The quick game is not as efficient as it was last season. Like, I think people always think about Lamar and they think about the crazy structure plays, and it's like, oh my God, how did he do that? And he found a guy downfield. But the reality is he was just an assassin last year on quick game, and that's not been the case. But the thing I would emphasize and that I think is relevant to this game, if like this goes sideways for Baltimore, is just the sacks that he's taken. I've mentioned this before, and his play under pressure generally, but he last year had the second best pressure to sack ratio, or probably fourth best in football. This year it's 31st. He is sacked 30% of the time when he's pressured.
Jeez.
And also his play under pressure, and this is partially because of those sacks. Last year it was second in QBR. This year it's 23rd. I don't think he's losing his athleticism. I'm not like he can't escape anymore. But I do think the offensive line isn't getting quite, they're not as good as they were last year. And it just feels like when I watch them, they aren't like, the run pass conflict in particular isn't working like it did last season. But yeah, he just can't take those sacks, especially when they start playing better defenses.
Okay, so did you guys hear the statistic there that's garnering the most amount of traction here? So the Lamar last year had the fourth best pressure, and this is an offensive stat. It's not just a quarterback stat. I recognize that. The offensive stat last year was the fourth best pressure to sack ratio in football. That's a collective statistic. I'm not pinning it I'm not building up the offensive line on that. I'm not building up Lamar on that. That's the offensive statistic. This year it is 31st. It should start and end there, guys. He is sacked 30% of the time when pressured. While the numbers over his career, particularly in recent years, and even this year against the blitz, against pressure, would not suggest that there have been concerns. We all know there's big concerns. Go ahead, Rave. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I felt like that all kind of gelled together.
No,
with
you're
where
fine.
you
You're
were going
fine. You're fine.
as
No,
it relates to Emery, Mina's comments. It all kind of goes together.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Listen, the offensive line wasn't all that great last year. I think we had issues with them last year. The difference is, I think you brought up the fact that you had Makari. He was serviceable in a way, and he was a little bit of a sturdier, and he could just, jack of all trades. So they was moving him, left tackle, moving him at guard, whatever, using him at center. And then I don't know how to. Dan Falele, I think more towards the ending of the season, he played okay, a little bit better, and they called him the alternate Pro Bowler. So that's how it worked out to where the O-line got a little bit better, and it was serviceable going into the playoffs. But this year, it just tripled down to getting worse. You know what I'm saying? It just got horrible. So I don't know how Daniel Falala can go from trash to garbage juice that fast. I don't know how does that work, but it just did. And we already talked about that. Obviously, I make videos. By the way, the guy in the comment section, everybody keeps saying I have a YouTube. I don't know. It's called Big E3. But anyways,
fucking promote it. Let's go.
Hey man, hey.
Hey, with your chest.
Some of y'all should already know TikTok is E3 is back. On my TikTok is E3 is back.
The hell's going on behind you?
My YouTube is big E3 on YouTube, and Twitter is Kingdom_Rave or Big E3. You can put one of those. But anyways, appreciate you.
Later, man. Appreciate you, Rave. See, you ready to go, Ray? See, man. Oh, God. Fool me once. What is it? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Let's try it a third time. C says, I'm good now. So much so he put it in his profile. He put it on his label. C, I'm good now. Welcome to the program.
What's up, Bobby?
Hey, there he is. What's going on?
I'm good, man. I wasn't going to pass this one up.
It's good to have you.
I watch, but I'll come on sometime. Hey, check this out. The defense, as far as getting sacked, I'm great with getting turnovers on downs. Because if you can get 2 sacks in the play, and then the third play, boom, he busts it wide open. So I'd rather have turnover on downs than splashy sack plays. Every now and then, that's
A
good.
lot of that lately over this 4-game win streak. They come in bunches, man. They got 7 turnovers. That's tied for first league wide over that span.
Exactly.
And you know what?
And
I just shortchanged them. I just shortchanged. They got 8. That's tied for first. 8 over this 4-game win streak.
great, man. That's what I'm talking about. Because if it's a turnover on downs, they're not getting the ball back until after our offense has it.
Yep.
And another thing, man, we know this offensive line is atrocious. But at the same token, we're winning. We're finding a way to win, right? And Lamar can say something. Everybody keeps saying Lamar needs to say something. You think Lamar hasn't said anything? He's still on the contract. If he wants to say, I'm going somewhere else, well, I'll sit down and this is, come on, he still got to pay his bills. He still got to take care of his family. He still got to take care of himself. I'm pretty sure he has said something many a time. A lot of people.
And I think it's a good moment to take a pause and just consider the fact that the way that John Harbaugh handles himself publicly behind the microphone, the way that Lamar handles himself publicly behind the microphone, there is not a correlation between that approach and how things are handled internally in film studies,
That's right.
in overall team meetings and position group get-togethers and the dialogue that happens within those walls. You know, we have to remember that and know that these guys in some cases have to respect the brotherhood from a public standpoint,
right.
and in John's case has to respect not just the brotherhood but the player-coach relationship, and
right.
ensuring that because of what Mr. Ravens football was talking about earlier on, who's got the best Boston accent or Rhode Island accent that you will ever see and hear, what did he say? He was like, look, this is a parody. Not only is it the most parody-driven league in recent years, but you've got a week-to-week league as well, and you got to keep the integrity of this sinking ship that is no longer underwater as it was a month ago afloat.
Exactly. And like the guy said, man, let's just celebrate that because it could be a lot worse. A lot worse, especially how we started off.
You could be focused on mock drafts right now, like my guy Jake is, who we're going to have on the vote tomorrow from the Jets perspective.
Exactly. Like,
exactly.
and then what? You know, and then if Lamar do say I'm not playing, then what the next naysayer is going to say? Oh, he gave up on the team. He did this. Come on, man. Let's just enjoy the moment, right? And John Harbaugh is the one type of person, man. He's not going to verbally say what he's thinking.
Of course.
So we don't know. We don't know what's going on. And I think that's
my brother. Thanks very much, my man.
Right,
I appreciate you calling in. Thank you, dude. Third time's a charm. He knows that. See, third time is a charm. I know Maurice is ready to go. He's sitting at his setup right now, just ready to rip. But you know what I'm doing before I bring Maurice on? Because I can't help myself. It's this type of stuff that cracks me up. And I just got tagged in it. So I just can't help myself. I just can't. Every time I think I'm going to have some emotional intelligence, I go do stuff like I'm about to do right now. How about Slim Shady, guys? You want to talk about some thin skin? You want to talk about somebody that lays down? It's Slim Shady at Curious Me 165823, who couldn't take the fact that I, at the very least, or maybe even at the very most, gave Lamar Jackson a 10% of the blame conversation for holding on to the damn football too long at times. And what does Slim Shady do? At Curious Me 165823. I guess he's exhausted all the curiosity that his little heart desires because he quote tweeted me so that, let's see his follower count. Oh, I can't even see it because I was blocked. Now this fool is blaming Lamar. I've had enough. Blocked with the deuces sign. Oh my God. I just can't even, man. What are we doing in society? Hey, Slim Shady, put on your big boy pants and call into the show like Maurice is right now. Welcome back to the program, brother, man. Look at the lighting that you got over there. You look like a Christmas tree in the back there.
Yo, Bobby, can you hear me correctly?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank God the audio is working. But quick comment my 2 cents onto Lamar finally responding to the offensive line struggles. Well, I'm not gonna say finally because certainly he has responded before, but yeah, some people may not like that it took like 10, maybe 11 weeks to come back to Coach Harbaugh and bring up the offensive line struggles. I mean, and rightfully so. I mean, if I'm Lamar Jackson, I would go right up to not only Coach Harbaugh, but Eric DeCosta and say, hey, I'm going to need you to get as much help as you can possibly get within this offensive line because I certainly didn't get paid millions just to be sitting back in the pocket and getting beaten around like I stole something for 60 minutes. But yeah, sure, it may be like 11 weeks into the season and responding to the offensive line struggles. But if I got to be honest, it's better late than never. But like I said in my previous appearance on the show, it is crucial to make changes within offensive line. It's like team building is everything. It's like team building, proper team building, guaranteed it will give your team the best chance to win on Sundays. That's just, that's
Maurice, we're losing your
how I
connectivity,
look
man.
at
You
it.
look great, you sound good, but we just can't quite hear it in terms of the connectivity. So we'll try you again next time, brother. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody for dropping by today, as always. And especially DeBruz, man. He's about to email me. He wants to throw a 500 spot in here. That guy's the man. I love you, DeBruz. I love everybody. Today was probably maybe the most ever in terms of guest call-in access. At one point, we hit the max that was actually allowed in the waiting room of over 10. So want to say thanks to everybody for being so interactive tonight. At the moment, there's over 900 of you concurrently watching the show. So means a lot that you guys are so supportive and engaged tonight. I would love for you, before you leave, to click on the link that I have included in the live chat. It's a pinned comment right now, and help me continue to build this Discord community. Right now, there are 1,043 members. You can become one of those if you are interested, and the road to 1,500 is on. If you'd like to share, or I should say, if you'd like to join, I just dropped the link in the live chat right now. It's free to do so. Want to say thanks to everybody for dropping by tonight, and I will catch up with you tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern, inside the vault. Appreciate you all for being here. Have an awesome rest of your night. Enjoy Thursday Night Football. Got some AFC playoff implications tonight in Houston between the Texans and Bills. Talk to you guys.